Hi, this is Derek Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, my guest is Layth Sidiq. He was born in Baghdad, grew up in Jordan, and is a violinist, a singer, and composer. And I just want to say, welcome, Layth, to the World Fusion Show.
Thank you so much. Really happy to be here.
It's so great that you could join us
Thank
today.
you for the invite.
It's really fantastic.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about growing up in Jordan and how you first got into music and what inspired you.
Well, I really am lucky because I grew up in a musical family. Both my parents are musicians. My father is a pianist and a conductor, and my mother is a violinist. So my upbringing was full of music in the house and outside the house as well, in the conservatory. My father is the current director of the National Music Conservatory in Amman, Jordan. So I was constantly surrounded by musicians all my childhood growing up. So that was very lucky.
So, and when did you start the violin?
I started playing the violin when I was about 4 years old with a teacher from Azerbaijan, Timur Ibrahimov. And I continued my studies in the conservatory until I was about 16. And then I moved to the UK to finish my high school diploma in a music school called Cheetham School of Music for about 2 years. And then after that, I came to Boston to go to Berklee.
Right. So you went to Berklee and on a scholarship, you said.
Yes.
Berklee School of Music in Boston.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful school. You've worked there, and of course, you got exposed to a lot more music and more world music. I know you work with many people now. The Berklee Indian Ensemble is one of them.
Right.
And you're actually on tour with them right now. Tell us about what that's like.
Well, I've been part of the Berklee Indian Ensemble since 2011. So actually the year it all started. It was a very small group, and then we had just a small classroom where we held the first concert. And then throughout this past 7-8 years, it's really been progressing so much, and we've had opportunities to perform with the leading artists, Indian artists, from cinema to poets and so on.
A.R. Rahman, right?
One of the most famous composers
in the world.
In the world, yeah.
Yes.
So it really has been really a privilege for me to really be part of the group, and we're now on our first US tour. We came back from New York yesterday. We performed at some venues, and we have a performance on the 20th in Keene, New Hampshire.
Okay, nice. So it's fantastic. I've heard a number of, there's some great videos posted online of the Berklee Indian Ensemble, and please, our audience, please go check them out because they're really fantastic. And they really are a fusion, I think.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of it is not purely traditional Indian.
Right.
And there's a lot of different kinds of people represented playing different instruments.
Yes.
Mahani Day is one of them, the bass player.
Yes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
she's ridiculous.
Yes,
she's amazing.
Yeah.
Was it fun playing with her?
Yeah, that was for the Rahman show in the Symphony Hall.
Yeah.
This was definitely a very special performance.
Yeah.
And as you said, the ensemble has musicians from many countries, so naturally everyone brings in their own flavor into it, whether it's composition or arrangements and so on. So it's always a growing process. I'm always learning something new every rehearsal.
I bet you are. So I'd love to go to the first video, which is a piece where you're playing violin with the Berklee Indian Ensemble. Do you want to say something about this piece?
Sure, yeah. It's as I said, we started as a small group, and then as we progressed and it grew bigger, we started to actually write original music for the group itself. So this composition, Jagopia, is composed by Armin Musa, who was a member of the ensemble. She's from Bangladesh.
What does she play or sing?
She's a singer. She's the main singer in the video. And I had a solo feature in this, and one of my favorite songs for the ensemble for sure.
It's really great. Let's go and watch this right now. so sweet. Great solo. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautifully done. You also are a singer.
Yes.
And you sing, you said, at every gig you play.
Pretty
And
much.
you're going to sing today on the show, I think.
Yes.
I know the violin style that you play is very singing. It's like a singing kind of style in the Arabic music.
Yeah.
Can you describe the comparison between the violin and the singing?
Right. Traditionally, Arabic music is generally known as really vocal music. It relies heavily on the voice being present.
Right.
So again, growing up in a musical house, we'd have guests who would come and sing songs, and I would be sitting as a young kid singing along the songs with them. And so I think that singing for me was just something that became very organic. I didn't have to force it out or learn how to sing. So it's just a natural way of how I express myself on stage. And also it's a great way for me to connect with the audience. And of course, having the violin there as a lyrical instrument and using them both at the same time, or equally, I should say, is a powerful thing. And I have kind of found my way to connect with the instruments and with the audience using my voice.
Yeah. I'd love to go to the next video where you are singing.
Yes.
So let's do that right now.
البيت الجيران فاطمة سلم علي يمكن الحلو زعلان طالعة من بيت أبوها رايحة البيت الجيران فاطمة سلم علي يمكن الحلو زعلان عطشان مية سقيني قلت لها يا حلوة رويني عطشان مية سقيني طالعة من بيت أبوها رايحة البيت الجيران فاطمة سلم علي يمكن الحلو زعلان طالعة من بيت أبوها رايحة البيت الجيران فاطمة.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Yeah. So you work with a lot of groups and also, well, I'd say you're very in demand right now. I keep seeing you all over the place on the internet. Which is wonderful. Tell us about some of the people you're working with now.
Sure. So the one that we just watched right now is a video from the group that I'm part of. It's called OQ, Original Quartet. And it's produced by Javier Limon, who was on the guitar here. He's a fantastic producer, multi-Grammy-winning producer that I've had the pleasure of working with in the past years. So that's been one of the groups I play with. I'm also, later on in the show, you'll hear me play with a friend of mine, Vasilis Kostas.
Yes.
A fantastic laouto player and a dear friend. And we have also a duo together where we had a chance to perform in Europe, and we have a tour coming up in Geneva. We're going to be there in the end of this month. And then I have another duo with another friend of mine, Nassim Al-Atrash, a fantastic cellist too. We have a duo called Qawsan, which means two bows, two string instruments. And then finally, the one that's the newest one, which is for me really another highlight for me, is combining all those duos with Vasilis and Nassim and working with one of our mentors and inspirations, Danilo Perez, fantastic jazz pianist and educator. So that's the new group called the Global Messengers.
Right.
We're going on tour in Panama in January, and we're starting then. So that's a very, very exciting endeavor.
And there's kind of a jazz element to that group, right?
Definitely, and I would say that it's a very open space still for exploration. There's not really any genre we're putting on it, but it's, as you want to say, it's very full of elements from everywhere.
There's one group you didn't mention, which is Four Corners Quartet.
Yes.
Which I am very fond of. And in fact, we're going to watch a piece that you guys are performing called Maracaibo, written by Eugene Friesen, another one of your teachers at Berklee. Eugene has been on the show, episode number 3. And I love this piece. This piece, to me, is my favorite world fusion string quartet because there's so much rhythm in the strings without adding any percussion or anything else. What was it like, and what is it like working with Four Corners?
Well, first of all, Eugene is one of my teachers and is a fantastic composer and arranger for strings. I mean, him leading the world strings at Berklee, us playing in that group has really been profound experience in learning how strings, what the capacity of what a string instrument can do. And Four Corners is basically a group of us who were really good friends. It was just a class at Berklee, a string chamber music class. And we thought, we sound pretty good, so we should actually do something with this.
I think so.
So we started composing, we started writing our own things and created a name for ourselves. And we thought, what better piece to record on the Berklee channel than Maracaibo? As you said, full of energy, great writing, and has some chance for us to improvise and bring our own identity to it.
It does. Let's watch this video right now. Wow, fantastic. I adore that piece. It's just super. So tell us about any upcoming projects that you're working on right now.
Yeah, so of course, as I said, the Global Messengers with Daniel Perez, that's coming up in January. We have the concert with Vasilis Kostas in Geneva and a bunch of other things coming up in the future. Everything's going to be on my website. And I'm planning on releasing a second album, actually, which will be based on Iraqi folkloric or traditional songs,
Yeah.
which I will be rearranging and working them kind of into the 21st century
Right.
to really make them more accessible for a younger audience so they can be engaged with their identity
Right.
a bit more.
That's fantastic. You also do work in schools, right? So tell us about that.
So I'm a professor at Tufts University. I direct the Arab Music Ensemble there. I've been doing it for the past 3 years. I'm also the director of the Center for Arab Culture's Children Orchestra program, where we provide music education, especially in Arab music for these diaspora children. As a bunch of other teaching projects around the city and my own individual private lessons that I do give. So I'm a big fan of education. I think it's super important as an artist to be aware that you should be performing, yes, but at the same time you should be active in the community, educate, and just be aware of your social environment at all times.
I think that's so true, and I'm so glad you're doing that and are able to share that with students and young people. That's really fantastic. Layth Sidiq, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's been a tremendous pleasure having you share your music, your philosophy, everything about what you're doing. And now we get to go to the part of the show where we play together. I'm really looking forward to doing that. We're going to be joined by your friend, Vasilis Kostas, who plays laouto, which is a Greek lute.
Yes.
That's really going to be a lot of fun to do that.
Can't wait.
All right. Okay. Hey, this is Derek Jordan. Thanks for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's been wonderful to have you. Please tell your friends, go to our YouTube channel, Facebook channel, subscribe, and, remember, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.